Hi, Libras. This is Genevieve with Belladonna Moonbeams. How are y'all doing? This is for the week of August 10th through August 16th, 2020. Um, I'm actually having a really good evening, and I hope you are too. And so let's just get right to the reading. The first card I get for y'all is the Six of Pentacles. And this card is all about sharing what you have in charity, giving alms, not being selfish. So this is not the week for you to be selfish. This is the week for you to share what you have. The next card we get is a Hierophant. Flip it around because it's watered down. It's reversed. It's watered down. And the Hierophant is reminiscent of a pope. He's got a lot of power. He's wearing this red. He's got like a wand in his hand. He's got the keys. So this is a very spiritual card, but it's also a nice card. Just like the Emperor is stern, he's not. He's loving. People love him. They worship him because he's so caring and charismatic. And the next card we get is the Chariot. The Chariot is a card that is all about, well, it's also a very spiritual card, but it's also about starting and winning just by sheer force. If you notice on the Chariot, the man is driving it, but he's not holding the reins. He's got a wand in his hand and he's doing it by magical control. He's able by his will to control the Chariot. Even the Sphinxes, which one is black and one is white, which is the yin and the yang, even though he's controlling them just by his will. So you can control what you share and what you give or gain, and it might be receiving in this case. But you can control that. And it's also, which interesting, I never noticed this until literally just now, he's got a scales, which with Libra, that's really interesting. He's holding a scale in his hands, and I think he's looking at the balance. Just like you always want things that are balanced and just, he's wanting the same thing. So that sharing is also about leveraging that balance. And so I find that you're going to have a lot of spiritual growth and success this week by sheer will and by being willing to share and receive. The Hierophant he gives to you. You receive from the Hierophant. This is the card about giving and receiving. So this week you're gonna be doing something. Your will is going to be very strong. You're determined, but there's going to be somebody who's going to be willing to give to you and to share with you. And maybe it's just to find that balance between you, but be willing to do the give and take this week. Now on to our oracle cards. The first card is Aquamarine, and this says to find your divine life purpose. So I see that you've been struggling to try to find out what your goals and your life purpose is. And sometimes to find yourself, you have to lose yourself a little bit. I know it's a paradox. But this card also says you're going to have spiritual protection while you're looking for your divine life purpose. And this card, which is Angel Light, says you've got a spiritual community. You may not have found it yet, but there's one out there for you. So I find for you, Libra, that this is a very spiritual week. Especially when you've got the Hierophant in there. Um, you are going to be doing some searching and some trying to find what you want in life and what your purpose is. As many of us do, but right now with COVID, it's really been extra hard to figure out where we're going from here. Um, and so you also need to be charitable with yourself while you're finding this balance. Because as a Libra, you want everything to be balanced. You don't like you don't like to feel discombobulated. You like to have balance. So your week may seem a little out of control, but you will find that balance if you look for that spiritual center, and you exert your strong will, which you completely have. And if you look, this is even a spiritual card. There's stars above his head. There's the crescent moon. There's so much spirituality here. And that spirituality will help you with your sheer force and your sheer will to make it through this time. And yet I don't know that you're going to seem like it's struggling for you. You're going to have the opportunity to share with others. And I'm not talking about money. It might be, but I'm not seeing that. It might just be a kind word, a compliment, something that's outside of yourself. Or maybe even just sharing what you're learning this week. But yes, you are going to be sharing, and that's going to lead you to some spiritual growth. Now let's look at our crystal ball. I see a horse. You know, horses, the first thing that came to my mind is that song, Run for the Roses. I know you probably don't remember, I'm showing my age, but it was run for the roses as fast as you can. Your faith is the moments at hand. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember all the words. It's a chance of a lifetime and a lifetime of chance. And it's high time to finish the dance. So, Libras, this is your dance. It's time for you to dance this week. And I see an infinity symbol. And that's like this, the 8 on the side, which is really appropriate because yesterday was 8-8. So it's like double infinity. But so with the infinity symbol, I think it goes back to that spirituality. How that this is a week for you to find that spiritual core inside of you and to share that with others. I see a bow, like with the bow and arrow, only I don't see the arrow, I just see the bow. And the bow is a sign of strength and swiftness. So you need to be strong, like the chariot. And I see a fork, which I think could almost be like the symbol that the Hierophant is holding. That's almost like a wand with the Trinity on it. So a fork, a lot of times they have 3 or 4 tines, can also be the same. And it's a tool. And I think you have all the tools you have all the tools that you need. It is a little bit different this week for you, but you have all the tools you need to learn this week and to grow this week. Namaste, Libras. If you want to do a private reading, 405-512-9400, or give me coming, PM me on Facebook at Belladonna and Moonbeams. And if not, I'll see you next week.